Whether you're a die-hard fan or just looking for a good laugh, this monthly series promises to deliver the unexpected with a dash of humor. Tune in as Gene and BT dissect the what-the-fuck moments that makes pro wrestling the exciting spectacles they are. It's time to let loose and embrace the madness with the WTF News Desk, where Gene and BT bring you the 10 strangest and most fun topics each month, leaving you entertained, amused, and eagerly awaiting the next episode.
Hey, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSPOD Club production. That's right. Guess what? I'm BT and that's Gene. And Gene, we're from Jonesboro, and it's hotter than a billy goat in a pepper patch. I just want you to know that. Episode 89 of WTF, episode 982 of STSPOD Club. I want you guys to know there's no truth to all the rumors about Gene because he's been busier than a cucumber at a woman's prison. Think about that for a couple seconds.
Hey, now.
He's from Gadsden, Alabama, home of the Gadsden City Titans high school team. They started their season 1 and 2. We hate that. But next game is next Friday night, 9/19. They'll be going against the Hazel Green Trojans. And that's in Hazel Green, Alabama. He is a wrestling know-it-all. I just want everybody to know that. I'm having technical problems too. My new partner in crime, my best friend, well, most of the time, he's Gene Jackson, and together, we are the super friends of podcasting. How the hell are you, Gene?
I'm good, man. I always look forward to these so I can learn a new fact about my own hometown. That's always a lot of fun. You know a lot more about Gadsden and their football scene than I do. So.
Well, we're gonna follow them during the football season, Friday Night Lights. You know, that's what we're gonna try to do and keep you informed. Quick business notes: number 3 most played. This is all audio. WTF from last month. That's 974. Number 2 was 5-minute time limit. That's 972. And I'll be damned if the new music podcast 978, and I will give it to Duchess for that. She's got a bunch of fans. Hit me with your first shot. It was the Grease soundtrack. Should be fun. If you have not listened to that, go back and listen to it. Some business. Overall audio plays were up 29% last week. Rumble down some. We broke our YouTube record again by 10%. Last month was best Facebook views since April of last year. Well, we're up 53% more than last month. Instagram, we did set the record in July, but we're down 5% in August. And I looked at some numbers, Gene, for when you started, because we've been exchanging stuff, and we have a dual audience here. I mean, there's an audience that does USWA Retro, that does this, blah, blah, blah. 31% increase since we started our partnership from last year.
Tremendous.
So you, my buddy, my friend, my best friend, you're worth 31%. Just remember, tell the wife that when you get off.
That's awesome. I'll let her know that because if I wasn't so lazy, if I kept up with my numbers, I'm sure ours have increased since having you on board too. But now I got to ask a quick question here. Now, you mean to tell me that you had a music podcast that ranked that high among the most listened to things, and you didn't even have a self-professed music expert on the show? They were just listening to two people who happen to enjoy music and don't claim to be
just fans, my friend. We're just fans.
Wow.
And I said this on 5-minute time limit. The podcast, I produced 69 episodes of The Record Store, and you know that. And The Record Store was just one of those things that we released, and it might get some numbers, it might not. I mean, it was part of a wrestling podcast. It may have got once or twice. I haven't went back to look. Maybe 3 times it was number 1. I don't even know if it was that many. In the whole time, it was 69 episodes there. But this was first. The first episode, it went out and it just, over a 24-hour period, I was like, damn, this is going to do it. But like I said, I think Duchess a lot there. She equals numbers. She's always on 5-minute time limit. It's always really good. But she does promote it, and say nice things about it. Now,
it's a fun concept. People should check it out. It really is. I think you've come up with something that's a really fun concept. It's just your usual, music show. So kudos for that. I'm glad to hear that's catching on quick.
Well, it's, the same thing as we talked about on USWA. I think we did it on Hot Mics. Everybody's going to have a different album. So it's going to be fun for me because it may be an album that I've never listened to.
Yeah.
The next
seek it out.
Yeah. The next one's going to be Scotty Wentz is coming on, and it's a Motley Crue album that I've had and that I bought. But it's really fun because you get to tell where you bought it. Did you buy a cassette? I don't know. It's just silly, but it's fun. It's fun. I got
nostalgic,
something.
And that's popular these days. We're riding that wave.
Yep, that's right. And we spoke about the record store, and Lance, we had he left the show. Lance Levine did, but something happened today. I got a message from someone that said that his Twitter account or X account is not him anymore. Oh. And I'm a good guy, Gene. I'm a nice guy, and since he was part of this podcast for a long time, I just want everyone to know he has a new Twitter account. It's at Lonely Lance 1961. We're not kidding. We're not joking. This is a legit account. Y'all go and join that account tonight, right now. Help Lance out.
At Lonely Lance 1961. So we're going for a little truth in advertising in this one this time, I see. He's taking a different approach. Good for him.
Yeah. So I just want everybody to... He posted a lot of stuff today. He hasn't been able to get on the other Twitter to tell everybody this ain't me anymore. So we just want to make sure everybody goes over there and follows him. All right. And
so that would explain why there's such repetitive douchebaggery been getting posted on his then, I guess. So it wasn't
I guess it is, so yeah. The thing about it is when we, for a better word, broke up, I said, it's creative differences, and I think that's the best thing to say. It really was creative differences. And so we from that point on, we have not talked. I mean, I don't hate him or nothing, but we just haven't talked. And when he had a problem going on like this, I thought I would jump in and help him. So,
well, it's just good to hear that, it was a clean break and nobody is sitting around obsessing about the other one and posting things online every single day, just repetitive bullshit day in and day out. Because that would be pathetic, right? I mean, somebody like that, you would almost hope that they would either just get off of social media or just, jump off a bridge or something, because that would just be sad. So I'm glad to see he's moving on and got a new Twitter.
You're talking like that's like an ex-girlfriend or something, or a stalker. Or
that's what it would seem like. If someone did that sort of thing, that's exactly what it would feel like, a pathetic teenage girl that can't let go because the person they were with previously has found someone newer and better that gets better numbers for their pod, or what I'm saying, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it. Y'all go over there and follow him. I think y'all will, as always, enjoy his Twitter. And we're up to number 10. That's where we start out. Real quick, if you enjoy the show tonight and you want to show your appreciation, you can cash app us at BTSTS. That's $ BTSTS. I'm currently unemployed. I'm not begging for money, but if you want to send us something, you can. All right. As always, we start out with There's Something Strange in the Neighborhood, and our buddy Hank was able to do it this month. So here we go. 3 matches from DDT.
August 2nd, DDT Battle of Hamamatsu, Triple Threat, Body Slam match. Danshoku Dieno took on Akito and Yuya Koroku in a Body Slam only match. where the only way to win was by body slamming your opponents. 8-30-25 DDT 8-man tag team crocodile match. A wild 8-man tag where Damnation TA took on Schadenfreude International, plus Banbun's big brother and Munetatsu Nakamura. The finish came via the shocking Wani Wani Splash, a crocodile-themed splash move, 8.31.25. The event was sold out, aired live on Wrestle Universe, and included the dramatic dream match, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Danshoku Dieno.
Oh, all right. We had one match with. Hey, how you think about what do you think about a body slam match? All you gotta do is body slam them to win.
Well, you know, Andre and Stud did that back at WrestleMania 1, and they're bringing it back here in Japan. That's pretty cool. And man, Hank does such a good job pronouncing those names and everything that I know, you know, us two hillbillies, we would butcher it, right? So kudos to Hank. And for people who are making accusations that Hank's AI or something, that's ridiculous. I mean,
I'm sorry, Hank.
We'll bring Hank on here one day if we got to show you he's real.
Yeah, his English is not great, but man, he pronounces the Japanese like that's a surprise. How about that crocodile move? When they do shit like that, I just wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that's the Wani Wani Splash, he said there. So unique.
And the Tanahashi, which I know you're not very familiar with Japanese wrestling, but he's a fucking legend, okay? And they got him on some of his last matches to wrestle Danshoku, or how he pronounces it, but he's been on almost every one of our matches or months from Japan. But did you see him? He used Danshoku's move, the lip lock. Did you see him?
Yeah, it was hard to miss. It was hard to miss. That was prominent there. So yeah, I wonder if he could get Cena to do that on his retirement tour.
Oh, see, there you go. Guys, I just want you to know that if you're not watching the video with us or the stream, you miss out on some stuff. And we might have one or two surprises tonight. Let me just say on one of our... Oh, Gene don't even know about it.
I don't.
All right, that was number 10. We're up to number 9. What the fuck, Dave? What the fuck, Dave? When talking about Cena facing Logan Paul, he mentions the great manipulator of Triple H. He said there's no way Logan Paul facing Cena on the next pay-per-view is he losing the fall to Jelly Roll. So he went to Jelly Roll and made Jelly Roll believe that it was best that he lost. What the fuck? Why does he think he knows that? Is what I want to know.
And why would Jelly Roll need manipulating into putting over anybody? I mean, it was clear that dude was happy to be there. He busted his ass at the Performance Center. He just doesn't come off like the kind of guy to me that be like, I'll do it, but I got to win. I mean, I believe the stories that were going around that he was insistent that he needed to take the pin in that match. And it's what Dave's always done, man. He just comes up with these scenarios in his head. He reports it like facts, and then his minions just go and repeat it because if he says it, it's the gospel to them. And
I found that I thought it was weird because it's just placed in some issue, just out of the blue. Great manipulator. I don't get that. I took Dave always does the polls. And I've talked about on this podcast before that my interest in wrestling has changed, especially since probably for the last 3 years. I went from, hey, I like Dusty Rhodes. Hey, I like Hulk Hogan. Yeah. I was reading the Observer, and then I went and I said, I'm not one of those typical Wrestling Observer readers anymore. I don't go with the readers. And here is the perfect example. So, Wrestling Observer readers who voted in the polls. Here's the numbers. And this is kind of surprising too that Dave has so much weight. And when you see these numbers, there's really not a lot of people voting in his polls.
Yeah.
Forbidden Door, AEW had 213 responses. WWE in Paris, 142. An ROH show had 68. And I think ROH, NXT, kind of the same in a sense, but they had 43 on the NXT show. So the readers don't watch NXT. And ROH, they had probably more responses to that than they would, but that's a hardcore. But the readership now is AEW. That's all it is AEW.
Yeah, because if you're deep enough into Dave's stuff that you're paying to subscribe to it, then that's what you're getting fed. The AEW is where it's at, and they drinking his Kool-Aid as far as that goes, as far as AEW goes. So yeah, that makes sense that his minions are going to be way into AEW. So
it's really it's just revealing because the difference in the way everything's reported in Observer. It's so biased toward WWE. Things like manipulator. You think he'd ever say that about Tony Khan?
God, no.
Here's something we talked about a couple of times already, and I'm going to put this up here. He is talking about Blake Monroe, and I know you don't watch a lot of WWE stuff. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, she came from AEW and was called, what was she called over there?
Man, I can't even remember that. That's sad,
Tiffany,
ain't it?
or I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I've caught bits and pieces of that. So the gist is he doesn't think that Blake Monroe and Jeff Cobb made a good move going to the WWE.
Said the same thing about Phoenix and Penta. I don't understand how
Penta.
Yes, if you
Jesus Christ,
I know it. If you talk to any of the talent, I'm going to say this: there was a time when people were talking about going to AEW. I asked a bunch of young talent one time at a taping, and I said, "Okay, where do we want to go?" It was about split down the middle. It will not be that way now. It will not be that way. And if you're in the WWE and you are a star, she's still on NXT, but she is a star. And Penta, really, I don't understand how he would have been used better in AEW. Just don't understand.
God. I mean, okay, despite tag title runs he had in AEW or whatever, but he has been presented as more of a upper level, almost main event level star in his short time in WWE than his entire time in AEW. Same for Ray Phoenix. Like, that's crazy. And whatever you think about Jeff Cobb's time there so far, okay, he was only in AEW briefly, but I mean, who outside of what? I think Jeff Cobb got pushed pretty good and out in California, and
he was in New Japan too, and Lucha.
Yeah, in New Japan,
yeah.
but like AEW didn't do shit with him when he passed through there. I mean, he's in the middle of that, all the bloodline stuff. So I mean, it's not like he's wasting away in NXT, putting everybody over down there. But I mean, Dave, for all the years he's been around wrestling, just like his minions do, he puts all this weight on wins and losses. And if you come in the door and lose any matches, well, that's it. You're sunk. You shouldn't even be there. You'd be better off in AEW, where guys go weeks and months at a time without getting used and having matches that even if they win, it didn't mean a damn thing. Like, that's just crazy.
We got some listeners I know that read the Observer, been Observer readers for a long time. I'm one of those too. I just want, and I don't hate Dave by any means. I just want people to open their eyes. And that's why we do this What the Fuck, because it makes you go, what are you thinking? Where are we going? We have one for next month that, let's just say, we may end up quitting this segment after that. And we talked about this last month. I just want to give you an update. Dave has no idea what the numbers are on Max. It's impossible to know. That's what he's saying now. It's impossible to know.
Gee, that sounds familiar.
After he fought with everyone that they had 500,000. So it's impossible to know. I have a problem with them not saying they can't get the numbers. If you look at any HBO show, give me an HBO show and you can go look. Wikipedia, you can see how many millions of viewers they had for what was the show that had John Goodman, the brand new show that had John Goodman.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, it just ended recently. So I went to see what the ratings were, and I was able to get them with no problem whatsoever. So I don't understand why Dave, and not only Dave, but the other people say they can't get it. All right, that was number 9. Let's get to number 8. I want to talk about, well, this is the tweet that, we cover up people's names if it's not a wrestler or a wrestling person, put it that way. And this is not going to come up the way it's supposed to. But the tweet said with the person saying, hey, this guy gets it. So this is what I wanted to point out with you was the actual post was arguing that WWE, not AEW, escalated tensions between the two companies. That WWE is the bad guy in this situation by putting pay-per-views on the same day as AEW. Now, I don't know why that seems to be such a big deal for everybody, because hasn't WWE always done stuff like that?
I mean, they've both, counter-programmed each other back and forth at different times through their whole existence here.
There, right there. You can't say a person's name, but that person was all fired up. I mean, this has happened. This has happened all the time. The guy talked about he's not anti-WWE, but WWE is the bad guy. I want everyone that talks about the pricing and WWE is the bad guy and all that to realize something. I want them to realize something, Gene.
Okay.
It's a fucking business. Do you think Coca-Cola sits on the bench jacking off when Pepsi's doing a big ad campaign? No, they jump in there and they try to do a better one. You think Domino's quits when Pizza Hut gives a big price decrease? No, they jump in and give it. That's what we call it, a wrestling business. WWE has always done it, whether you liked it or not, and they will continue to do it. So I'm so sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings. And this person said, this guy gets it. No, you don't get it, and he don't get it.
No, and they aren't going to get it, apparently, but that's okay.
All right, that was number 8. Number 7's our retro moment, and it's brought to you by the Retro Podcast. USWA will run that commercial here in a moment. Go ahead, Gene. This one's yours.
So this is an overview of the allegation that was made where former WWE writer Dan St. Germain, speaking on the BNEN podcast, accused Vince McMahon of engaging in sexual acts with the late WWE performer Ashley Massaro during a European tour. The claim is that McMahon initiated the act on a plane and then ordered the entire WWE crew onto the tarmac so they could apparently watch as the plane rocked back and forth while the act continued.
If it's rocking, don't come knocking, baby.
The response from the WWE camp was representative for Vince McMahon responded swiftly, issuing a categorical denial, calling the allegations completely false, pal.
I was waiting for your Vince McMahon invitation there. Go ahead. What would Vince say about it?
I don't have a very good one like other people do, but yeah, you can't quote Vince without at least throwing a pal in there for emphasis.
Oh my God, that is our WTF retro moment. I was just like, what the stuff like that comes out, and it don't come out for years because there wasn't a big social media going on at the time. And on your podcast, when you're talking to Doug and Tommy, it's funny. You can hear Tommy's voice like just change sometimes when you start talking about there wasn't no social media. He goes, well, I'm glad, you can tell he's happy because of it. All right, guys, Retro. It was brought to you by the USWA Retro Podcast.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
You see, I had to put my picture in there. I just want everyone to know, if you don't know this, I am doing season 2 of USWA podcast and having a great time with Gene and Josh. I'm going to do the majority of the episodes, not just filling in.
You and Richard have swapped roles. You're going to be the more or less full-time guy, and Richard's going to maybe step in when you're not able to. So, you did enough episodes last season. You keep up with the show. It's been seamless. You've been able to slide right in. The show feels exactly the same, so appreciate you doing that. We're glad to have you. Glad that you enjoy it like we do. And it's something I look forward to doing every week.
Yeah. And it's fun because we get together on a Sunday morning. It's like we get together with old friends and talk about wrestling for a couple hours, and it's fun, really fun. All right, number 6, there's talk going around that there's going to be some kind of malpractice lawsuit, and Bubba the Love Sponge has made all kinds of little, not actually saying it, but that they will be preparing some kind of lawsuit against the people that killed Hulk Hogan, medical malpractice. They're going to be investigating the actual cause of death. There was a private autopsy done, and Brooke Hogan even said that there's a possibility of a malpractice claim because she considers this not a natural death. What's your thoughts on that?
That stuff has all wavered back and forth. Like at one point, Brooke was adamant that he was killed, or it was malpractice. It was something askew. But then she was allowed to go and view the body and talk to some people, and the last quote I heard from her was she feels that no, that was not the case, and that everything went along just fine, and she's backed off of that now. Now, of course, the widow is still looking to sue and pad that estate a little more, it feels like. And Bubba the Love Sponge, what a fuck. Sponge is the right word for that son of a bitch. He has latched on to Hogan and sponged off his ass for, the past 30 years or whatever it's been. And, and they had their falling out, and he couldn't do it anymore. And the minute Hulk died, he jumped right in the middle of it. And here he is leading the charge and all this. I have no respect for that fucking guy. And he just seems exactly as the name implies. He's a freaking sponge just trying to suck whatever last little bit he can out of his friendship.
It's crazy. It's crazy that somebody like that will try to get notoriety on just the friend, kind of thing. It's really crazy. It's sad. But that's almost every one of his programs recently have been about Hogan, and they're online now. They're on YouTube. They're on Rumble. They do all their stuff there now. So, and a lot of comedians do their podcasts and do all their stuff there too. So, everybody's got a fucking podcast is what I needed to say. And there's a lot of shitty podcasts out there. I just want you to know that, Gene. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And some people feel the need to have several shitty podcasts.
Yeah, it happens, man. All right, commercial break, and we will be right back. Mark your calendars because war is coming to Marktree, Arkansas. On Saturday night, September the 13th, the Allied Independent Wrestling Federation collide at MCW as Atomic Legacy Wrestling invades MCW. Pure chaos, it's the invasion. At 802 Liberty Street, the doors open at 5 and the action explodes at 6 o'clock. Rivals will be settled and grudges will be crushed. In a grudge match, two warriors step inside the ring looking for nothing less than destruction. Who will survive? And if that's not enough, the fans themselves will become part of the action in a fans lumberjack strap match. Yeah, you heard that right. You, the fans, will surround the ring and bring the pain. The stars of ALW, the champions of MCW, all under one roof for one night only. The legacy continues, but only one side will stand tall when the smoke clears. Don't miss the invasion, September the 13th, 802 Liberty Street, Marktree, Arkansas. Tickets at the door. Be there when a history is made live and in living color.
Don't miss Memphis Wrestling Live. Next Sunday, September 21st, meet former WWE luchador Kalisto. Thursday, October 2nd, Memphis Wrestling returns to the Mid-South Fair at Landers Center. Sunday, October 12th, don't miss our annual Halloween Spooktacular featuring, excuse me, Vicky Guerrero. Seriously. Good luck, Dustin. Saturday, October 18th, grab your costume and bring the kids to our Memphis Wrestling Trunk or Treat at the Wrestle Center. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, back from commercial. Big shout out this coming Saturday night, MCW Wrestling. A big commercial there, but I just want to remind everybody. Also, I just want to make note. I love what they did to Vicky Guerrero there. They're bringing her in for the Halloween, but they have her. If you're not watching the video, we're not going to tell you. Look, I'm going to be like P3 Radio. We're going to show videos. There's links to videos, but we're not going to give you the links. Any shout outs you need there, Gene, right here in the middle? Anybody you want to shout out or you want to talk about anything?
Just the Wolfie D book is available now at tinyurl.com/Wolfie book, and that takes you to Amazon. That doesn't take you to any publisher website that's going to have you waiting for weeks and months for a book. That's directly from Amazon. These things are getting sent out immediately.
I got
BT,
mine.
I know you have yours.
I got mine less than 2 days.
There you go. So people are starting to get them, and we're hearing good feedback. And so, me and Wolfie put a lot of work into that book. Wolfie's got a very, very interesting story. I thought I knew a lot about Wolfie, but I learned a heck of a lot helping him write that book. I really enjoyed it, and so I hope everybody checks that out. And wasn't supposed to talk about this previously, but it's kind of public knowledge. It's all over Facebook now. The King suffered another stroke recently, but he is out of the hospital recovering, and wanted to wish him the best as well, because bless his heart, he has had a hard time with all these strokes.
Yeah, I saw that on TMZ today, and made a note for next month. There's an era in there that's hilarious in the article. Yeah, I had known about it also, didn't say anything to anyone. I've got something of the King's. I can't say what it is yet, but when I do have to ship it to the King, I'm going to show it to everybody. Let me just say that. Okay. Let me say it's some artwork that was lost. The King has not seen this artwork since probably the late 70s or early 80s.
Wow.
But it's sitting right over there.
Oh,
we'll tell the whole. That's a teaser, Gene.
Yeah, good. Look at you, all professional. You're not one of these fly-by-night amateur podcasters. You know how to work this stuff. Good job.
I'm excited to tell the story. It is very interesting, and like you say, get well. Even though the King has said a lot of great things about me, and that's why I still like him. So, he knows me.
Well, I know Brian Tramel personally.
See, he does.
Big fat overbearing jerk.
There we go. Proof that he knows me.
Oh my. Glowing endorsement from the King there.
Gene, what have you said that you've never known anyone to be insulted so badly that I've got so much out of it? So there you go.
You've gotten so much mileage out of the King bashing you. I absolutely bow to your ability to take advantage of those things. Well played.
Hey man, I don't take shit serious. Some people take shit serious. You say one bad thing about do you know anything about wrestling, or do you believe anything, and they get all mad at you about it. So
they stay mad for months and post online every day like
it's crazy.
12-year-old girl.
All right, number 5, as always, Smarks be acting crazy. They be acting crazy, Gene. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen, and if you are not watching the video, shame on you. But if you're not watching it, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's a picture of Triple H. Now there was also one of Stephanie. Stephanie looked fantastic, by the way. Triple H looks like a man of his age. Let me just say that. Yeah. And there's a quote here from let me get that off there, and you go ahead. I'll let you see if you can read that. About what JBL said. And it's exactly what I thought.
So after this picture came out, and there was a lot of people online talking, JBL was quoted as saying, he's on a yacht in Greece, and the only thing you can say is, oh, as a 50-year-old guy, he doesn't look like he did when he was 20. Really? He had a heart attack. He almost died. He's lucky not to be in a freaking casket right now somewhere, buried. And he's on a yacht in Greece, living his life with his beautiful wife. And you're online talking shit while eating Cheerios in your mom's basement. And that was JBL on the Something to Wrestle podcast. Bless his heart. Good job, JBL.
Oh, man, that's what I thought. I was like, I cannot believe people were saying, oh, he's fat. It's so, Jesus Christ, if I was in that shape, I'd be so happy.
Exactly.
But like you said, you're as old as he don't want to do all that stuff anymore. So there you go. By the way, I don't know.
Fat on a yacht in Greece with my family. My God.
Well, a yacht on Greece with Stephanie McMahon, I would probably do that. Yeah. All right. And then our next thing be acting crazy. It's a promo shot. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it here. It's one of the Bella twins. I can't tell them apart. Racist. But can you go ahead and describe what we see on the screen, Gene?
Well, they call this the prom picture pose, where the fan is directly behind her with his arms around her waist and pressed up pretty close. She could tell if he was really enjoying this pose here, I'm sure. And this is done at like some meet and greet. This is one of those WWE meet and greet. As a matter of fact, Fanatics meet and greets. And do you want me to read the quote from Nikki Bella?
Go ahead and read the quote.
Okay, so Nikki said on her podcast with her sister, said, okay, well, I do feel like from now on there's going to have to be a no prom pose rule. I agree. After this photo, I think so. But I will say he had an incredible story. He asked very politely about doing a prom photo. I've done it a bunch of times, you guys. I didn't feel anything. Okay, that was what I was referring to a moment ago. It never felt inappropriate. It didn't feel like what the photo looks like. So
she didn't feel anything. Yeah, she didn't feel anything.
And the photo is more innocent than it appears. But I mean, if you had 100 guys in line, you would eventually feel something doing this pose over and over. I don't blame her for not being comfortable.
The prom pose. Well, what about this pose? Do you think somebody standing that close? There's a gentleman standing real close to a Japanese lady wrestler. Do you think that's...
You see where that hand's sliding up around the side over there? I mean, at least if they'd have had a prom pose, she wouldn't have had to worry about feeling anything. Because, at his age, unless he finally got that Blue Chew sponsorship for his podcast he's been after, I'm sure she's not going to have to worry about anything.
Yeah, I had to share that because I wanted you to actually, compare them there. That's what I wanted you to do. Also, the be acting crazy this Marks. They were all upset because people were going to Vince's 80th birthday. They were upset. And this photo was posted by our old friend Jerry the King Lawler. And then he took it down real quick because someone told him, hey, you can't have that up. But who we got here that was at the party, Gene?
So we got, if we're going to start on the left, we got the Miz. That's not Maurice next to him, right? Who is
that is Maurice. Yeah.
Oh, she looks different now. Okay, well, Maurice, and then we've got Titus O'Neil, Jerry Lawler, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, all decked out in their tuxedos, and they're looking like they're going to a prom, perhaps. So.
But everybody, they started seeing people come out with Vince. There's video of that, and everybody was upset. Does this make you mad that people went to his 80th birthday party?
No. I mean, for whatever Vince is accused of, and, is it true, is it not, who knows? But these are all people who worked for him for years, who owe the lifestyle they live these days is very much indebted to Vince McMahon. And, I'm sure he's kind of like a dad in some weird way to some of them. So if they want to go celebrate his 80th birthday party, that's their business. I mean, what's it hurting anybody? What's it anybody's business if they're there?
And this is if you go to one of these things, they'll have a photographer there. Everybody's dressed up, and would you like to get your picture taken? And I thought this was a real good picture. 6 guys, people, like you said, that if Vince McMahon was not in their life would be a lot different.
But to be fair, if you go to this party and he shits on your head, that's on you. You took that chance. Okay, you rolled that dice. You can't get mad.
You can't get mad about that. And we got to go back to Rhea Ripley. We talked about her before, and I'm gonna put the video up. You can just listen to audio. This is Rhea Ripley. There's a lot of people around her. And she was upset about that. And then I have another one while they were in Paris with. This is with Sheamus. Fans acting like nuts here.
It's okay. I got it.
We've talked about this before, and I'll unmute you. I can't unmute you here at this minute, but there's fans all around him. So it's two sides of this story, right? You got, and you did a really good job last month talking about, or the month before, where we talked about if you are a star, you got to put up with it, right?
Yeah.
But you see how many people was around Sheamus and doing what they were doing?
People should have a level of decency to themselves to not mob them in that way. But at the same time, you got to accept some of that, for the life you live and the, lifestyle and career you've chosen. But come on, people. My God. That was crazy that Sheamus was getting mobbed more than Rhea Ripley. I would have never guessed in a million years if I saw her from 10 feet away that's who that even was, and for all those people to mob her at the car like that. But yeah, that's just
she looks different when it reminds me of Kiss. I'm like, she's made up like Kiss. They look totally different what they look like.
I could probably pass her in the hallway somewhere and not know it was her, honestly.
She's so freaking over. I mean, she looks like a star and comes out. When she comes out, you're looking at a star. I mean, really, she has been able to take everything that she's given and just gone with it. But it comes with this. If you're that big of a star, it comes with everybody trying to get your autograph. I hear big stars talking about this too, where those stacks of photographs where Matt Damon's got a video out there where he's talking about it. He says he signs them for him, so he don't even care. Come bring a stack and he'll sign it for you. So, all right. So we was there. Smarksby acted crazy. Well, guess what? Wrestlers behaving badly happens every freaking month. The first one was our Rikishi, which we've had on here a couple of times, saying some crazy stuff on his podcast.
Yeah.
You know what? Back in his day, people didn't get pregnant, especially when they were the world champion.
Yeah, you didn't see Moolah out there getting knocked up when she was the champion for 47 years, did you?
It's crazy.
She was a real worker, that lady.
Spoiler alert, everybody knows what the number one story is, and his school was involved in that also. So we'll be talking about him. But he's also involved in, and if you want to listen to it on Patreon, hey, we got it on sale for $3. Rikishi at the Tupelo story of him coming in and working for Memphis and bringing his son with him. Just a crazy story. He said they would just give the son a spot, just come on in. And then they demanded money before Rikishi would walk out on TV.
Oh shit!
So they demanded money for the Sunday show that they were taping, and then he said he also worked Friday night in Tupelo. We want money for that too. So Dustin had to shell out. He tells it on the Patreon, but a certain amount of money for each day. And Rikishi did not. Spoiler alert. If you're a Memphis wrestling fan and you don't want to be spoiled, but guess what? He don't dance. He don't do anything. Y'all didn't know this, but Rikishi
looks like Rikishi.
Well, he's the tribal chief. He's the real tribal chief.
Oh, God.
Yes. Apparently he's always had stories about him. There's a Brian Christopher story we need to tell sometimes on USWA one I know of, and I mentioned it a little bit on that podcast. Our final thing was about which not the final thing. I'm sorry. Right smack in the middle. Jake Hager. And the reason I did this is that Hager had an interview where he talked about a lot of people. And I wanted to bring it up. And I'm bringing this up too.
The whole who comes into the room storming in, daddy's little billionaire, who say, fuck Tony Khan.
I love that quote. Daddy's little billionaire. But here's why I want to do this, and it's part of the wrestlers' behavior. There's going to be so many people come out of the woodworks when they're leaving AEW and going to tell us how that place was run.
Yeah, the narrative that it was all just big happy family over there, and it was just that was the greener side of the pasture on that side of the fence, that everybody wanted to believe for so long, that the evil empire of WWE. But when you come down to AEW, where everybody's friends and it's just all inclusive and it's just wonderful, and we're starting to see as contracts are expiring and he's not renewing them, people are leaving. We're starting to hear that this ain't like something just happened overnight in the last 6 months. These people have been experiencing a lot of this for quite a while. And I think for quite a few years to come, we're going to be hearing more and more details of what went on in AEW. I know that, he managed to get some NDAs on guys like Cody and Punk and people like that. Jericho.
Yeah.
But there's going to be guys like Jake that's going to fall through the cracks that's going to be able to tell, their side of it. And there's probably nothing that's going to prevent guys like them who are in the peripheral of all that to at least tell their version of what they saw with Cody and Punk and all that. So it'll be interesting because I certainly thought I found a lot of this to be interesting, despite, what your feelings of Jake Hager are and what he meant to AEW in the big scheme of things. He was there, and he has a right to his opinion, and he has a right to tell it.
I just think it's so weird when he says something like that. And to me, it's an official interview, and then you have wrestlers disputing him by tweeting. I think I've lost all interest in FTR, and I used to be a huge fan because of the stuff that's on Twitter. It goes back to my whole thing. Stay off that platform unless you got somebody helping you, especially if you're somebody like a wrestling star. Something that he said also that, and I have said it on this podcast many a times, there's going to be something major come out of the Cody Rhodes leaving story. And he said it all changed when Cody left. Guys, there's something there, and I've said it has something to do with his wife. I may be completely wrong, but there is, and even Cody's been getting kind of in front of it. Apparently, there's going to be an AEW book that's been approved by Tony Khan, but there may be some stuff in that. Matt Riddle's always in the news. He's been a WTF person for many years. He strikes twice on one interview, strikes twice this month. One interview, he revealed that on OnlyFans, he has a lucrative deal, lucrative source of income. He wouldn't even have to wrestle probably, because the gay wrestling fans love him. He is not completely nude. He is in a Speedo. And he said that he wanted everyone to know he had a big hog, and that's what the gay wrestling fans love. So kudos to him if he can make money. You know, I've only got 2 subscribers for my butthole OnlyFans. And you know, you can't make a living on $6 a month. I just want you to know that, Gene.
I can guess who one of them is. I don't speculate who the other is. Well, you know, maybe that's why Matt Riddle is comfortable to no-show all these events you keep hearing about.
And that's the second one. Right on August the 31st, as we were going to press, this is all the stuff that happened in August. He no-shows an event in the UK. He goes on Twitter and he says this about it.
You know, I could explain everything in great detail. I'm not lying. But I really don't give a fuck anymore. Most of you motherfuckers are dumb fucking cunts. Just like when you believe that Me Too bullshit and all the other fucking garbage. You guys are all fucking dumb. And it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Fucking believe these fucking creeps? Whatever, dog. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep getting booked. I'm probably going to start fighting again. I'm probably going to do a lot of other shit. Fucking crushing on OnlyFans because I've got a big fucking you-know-what. And I'm nice as fuck, dude. Everybody, if you don't like me, unfollow. Go fuck yourselves, all right? I don't give a fuck because at the end of the day, the cream fucking rises to the top. And I'm really, really tired of trying to be nice to everybody because I hate to break it to you. Most of you guys are fucking morons. Peace.
Peace.
Wow.
Fucking morons. There you go.
What would happen if Jason Mewes got on steroids and became an MMA fighter?
That's him right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know, you wonder why he's not working for the WWE. Even having a guy like Randy Orton was behind him, because Randy was not a regular. He told his story, not a regular pot smoker until they become tagging, and he become his dealer, his plug. Let me say it that way. That's better. That's slang. His plug, and Randy tried to get him to try to keep him his job, and Randy couldn't even do anything about it. He couldn't fight in UFC because of weed, which was stupid anyway. But this guy is, I saw him and at the school, when he was at the school that he was at, I saw video of him and I said, it was him and Damian Priest both. And I was like, these two guys right here, but mainly because their size and their skill, these two guys. And you look at those two guys and the routes that they went. Damian Priest went big star in WWE, and Riddle's no show in the UK. And I tell you what, a spoiler alert, we're going to have another comment about the UK that he made in September. So it becomes September's news also. So there you go. Shock me. This is the category where wrestling's shocking moments for the month, kind of sarcasm there, shocking. And I said last month we'd probably turn this into TK does stupid shit. I was just joking, But I think maybe we might do that because this was two things that I found really stupid this month. Tony Khan surprised everybody to say, they have the casino gauntlet, right? Someone wins it. It's just like Money in the Bank. Fans love that. They absolutely love it. You don't know when they're coming out or they're coming. I love Money in the Bank. I love them to see who's cashing it in. But he wants to be different. He's been listening to feedback, and he's the voice of the fans. What's your thoughts on that one?
I think that I want AEW to be different, and I've been listening to the feedback and the voice of the fans, and I think people want the championships in the sport of pro wrestling to have integrity. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, he's listening. Like you said, he's listening to Meltzer. People like that surprise aspect of it. That's the whole point of having these
entertainment
casino, gauntlet type matches. But yeah, they spend so much time even mentioning the other companies and all that kind of thing. And I don't think it would be an issue at all to have a TK does something stupid category each and every month. The hard part might just be narrowing down which one or two things you want to mention. That'll be the difficult part.
I've always respected the way Inoki and Baba did this. This happened in Japan. And guess what? They didn't give a shit about what was happening, never mentioned the other company. They coexisted. One time the New Japan would be doing better, another time All Japan would. But there was two different styles, and people, they didn't have to listen to people talking about, and that's social media too. We might have had social media, might have screwed all that up. I thought this was hilarious. Kota Ibushi, who's back to wrestling finally, in a match, said he found out he was in a cage match in London. He didn't know it until he woke up the next day after Dynamite aired.
And we found out on there that he had signed a new 2-year extension and he had a cage match. That's fun.
This reminds me of, I don't know, faxing you the what was Stone Cold got his stuff faxed to him that he was fired, or stuff like that. That reminds me. But it's almost like they just, like Tony Khan's running around. I got everything taken care of. Look, you didn't talk to someone for the cage match. Come on, you got to talk to everybody about what's going on. What about a contract? Yeah, you might want to talk to them about a contract. All right, we're up to number 2, and this was just one of those personal things for me. I've talked about it a little bit on the USWA Hot Mics, but I said, what the fuck is going on in Mexico? Here's some comparison. WWE shows in 2021 through August, 1,446,000 tickets. Arena Mexico, one building, CMLL, sold approximately 1,416,000 tickets. To say Mexico City is hot and CML is hot will be an understatement. This is crazy. It's the most they've ever drawn for an extended period of time. It will be their biggest year ever. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think it's been 65 years in that building.
Wow. That's pretty amazing to be selling that amount of tickets in one building that, for that time frame. That's blows me away.
It's crazy. Oh, let me take it back. They also have 2 other places, one in Guatemala and one in another city. No, it says it doesn't. Those numbers don't include the other shows that they promote throughout Mexico. Crazy. It's contributed to a lot of tourists. Tourists come in, and all the tourists are being told, hey, you got to go to wrestling. This is an event. This is not. They go in and they respond just right along with the fans. And, ticket prices a little bit higher now than it used to be, but not like the WWE. But I was just astonished that you got a promotion that, just fired up again and making that kind of money.
I mean, I'm sure I never will, but I would love to be able to go experience that. I think that'd be a really
Me
cool
too.
place to go.
It's one of my bucket lists is to watch wrestling there. And just I saw a picture of all the gimmicks, all the merch and everything.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. They have all the masks, everything. And Triple H's drawing well too, so that country's really doing well when it comes to wrestling. So, all right, our number one story, and you had said on Facebook you didn't want to talk about this because everybody was talking about it. But with it being the most popular story, I had to make it number one. There's a lot going on with this story. May even have to talk about it a little bit next month. But we had a non-wrestler, Raja or Ray J. How did they pronounce his name?
Raja is what I've been hearing
Raja.
everywhere.
He is the son of UFC champion former champion Quentin Rampage Jackson. We're all familiar with him. And they were at the Knox Pro Wrestling, which is Rikishi's wrestling school. They had an incident where at first we had Jackson was on Twitch. And the wrestler that got the serious injury thought that they were running an angle of some kind. He ended up hitting Jackson in the head with, was it a full soda can?
No, I don't. I've seen the clip
a water
2
bottle.
or 3 times. It was a can, but it didn't appear to have anything in it. And he barely touched him with it. Like, I don't even see how you really would have thought this was an angle. He just like kind of picked it up and he kind of tapped it against his head lightly, and I don't know. The whole thing is just very odd from beginning to end. Meanwhile, the Jackson kid he's streaming this whole thing on one of these little platforms, whatever the hell
Twitch,
it was,
yeah.
Twitch or something.
Kick.
I think it was. Yeah, I was gonna say it was one of the lesser known ones. I don't know, man. It's just been goddamn every podcast from the Jim Cornettes of the world and Dutchman Tales down to the dipshit down the street have all told the story incessantly and analyzed it and picked it apart and tried to make sense of it. I don't think you can make sense of it.
I put it as number one because it was talked about the most. It was one of those.
I get it,
but here's the thing: I want to go ahead.
I get what you're saying, but bottom line is this wrestling school had Rampage Jackson's kid was there, and they thought, well, let's what can we do with him? Well, how can we cash in on this? Let's let him do a spot in the ring. And so they worked out this silly little thing with the Psycho Stu guy walks up with a can, a spot that really doesn't even come together. And then the Jackson kid gets mad about it. Stu apologizes. They shake hands. It's fine. But then meanwhile, on his kick or whatever the fuck
that's what I was going to talk about on the stream.
He's telling everybody, I'm going to mess this guy up. They're going to have to pull me off of him. I'm fixing to mess him up.
And all his fans were running constantly, get him.
Yeah, which, I mean, like Bo James said from what he looked up on it, that was like a platform mostly centered around like middle school age kids that are gassing him up to attack this guy.
Yes.
In the meantime, somebody on the show, I don't know if he's the booker, is an assistant coach or whatever, he has an issue with this Psycho Stu guy, so he's gassing up the Jackson kid going, get your receipt. And so they let the guy go in the ring. He comes in, he grabs him from behind, suplexes him onto his head. That's when the guy's out, right there.
Completely out, right
done.
there. Yeah, I didn't even want to show the video. I can't hardly watch it. Yeah.
So the Jackson kid mounts him and just starts raining like death blows on him. This isn't like just little Jack. Like, he is trying knockout punches one after. I mean, it was like 22, 23 times, they said.
Oh, it was nasty.
Bo James had one of the more compelling takes on it that I heard on his podcast, pointing out the lack of training in wrestling these days, because this guy is raining blows down on this poor guy who is out cold. Referee makes no attempt to stop it. None at all. Nobody's doing shit, but just watching this guy get his head bashed in. His teeth are getting knocked out. He apparently flatlines at some point in the ring. Finally, another wrestler comes out and grabs the guy and eventually gets him pulled off. But this whole time, the referee doesn't do anything. They get him pulled off, and the heel that this psycho Stu was wrestling, covers him, and the referee counts 3. Which is just
what the fuck? Just you're right about Bo. I love Bo James, by the way.
Yeah,
always been a true professional. I had the thing I thought was with and you mentioned it, but it's the mentality of the internet, and it reminded me of. Did you ever have? I know this is going to sound bad, but what we did in gym class was we'd pick 2 people and we would go up to a person and we'd say, "Hey, Gene, hey, you won't believe what Josh said about you."
Yeah.
And then we'd go to Josh and say, "Hey, Josh, you won't believe what Gene said about you." And we would do that the whole fucking gym class until they were fighting in the locker room after we got done doing it, or they would start fighting right there in front of the teacher. And neither one of them said a word. But that's what it reminded me of. This is this mentality of these people online going, "Get him, get him, get him." And this guy just getting so fired up about it. Number one, and that's what Bo James is talking about. If a person that's not part of the show enters the fucking ring, you as a referee have to go. You have to get on him. He might punch you in the face. He might do whatever. I've had the incident where I had a friend of mine, someone grabbed him outside the ring, and I was watching the match. I jumped. I mean, I was the guy that got to the kid first because you never know what happened. He could stab him. I felt bad because all the wrestlers came out and beat the fuck out of this kid. But as I was holding him. Yeah. But you have things like that, and it is one of those things where anyone can have a wrestle. This was Rikishi's promotion, and here's something really. Rikishi's off in Tupelo in Memphis. All this is happening. There's all kinds of text messages that'll come out eventually if they ever press any charges. And I can bet you, allegedly, Rikishi's got some of those that's saying, "Keep your mouth shut. Do not say anything." And they actually did apologize to the fans and the people, and the WWE ID program within 24 hours was taken away from them. So it should be. And it's one of those things where you got people around. He shouldn't have been there. He should have been backstage. They should have worked everything out ahead of time. And they just, some of that stuff just, even at the lowest level, and I consider some of those shows we did lowest level ever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I was, drawing 5,000 people at Gibson, Tennessee. We had professionalism. We sat down and said, "This is what we're going to do. Are you okay with this spot? All right, let's go." That was not,
and like Sammy Hall trained us from the wrestlers to the people he trained to be referees. Hell, even like Neil, when he was originally trained as an announcer, he trained us how to take care of ourselves. If a fan came in, here's how you handle them. If you go off somewhere or somebody comes in, you don't know them, and you think they're trying to hurt you, if they start doing things you're not comfortable with, here he taught us how to, hook them and get them in a compromising position, get in their eye, all that good shit, man. Because Sammy came from, he jobbed for Watts, and he came from that old school, man, and he taught us that. And, that's clearly not a thing anymore. They don't teach anybody how to take care of themselves. They don't teach anybody how to protect each other from fans and people coming in the ring like that. All anybody cared about is like, hey, maybe we'll get a rub because Quentin Rampage Jackson's son is going to make a news tonight. Oh, boy, did they. Yep. Oh, boy, did they. But somebody's liable to going to jail before this thing's over. They're not out of the woods on that yet. He still can get, prosecuted for this shit. We'll see how it turns out.
you know, you say what you want to. I'm old school when it comes to fans interacting with us when we're outside the ring and they're trying to touch you and stuff like that. Real paranoid about that. I always thought someone would stab me. But I had a guy, and you can laugh about it. It's kind of funny now, but he jerked my shorts down at a show, at a bar.
Yeah.
And this was a big guy. I mean, he's a huge guy. He's laughing with all his friends. I was always taught, somebody does something like that, then you go for them in the crowd. I always thought they cannot do that, because if they do that, everybody's. I dove with a punch to the crowd, and if it wasn't for Psycho and James Arnett, who were wrestling in the ring, got out of the ring together and saved my ass. But I couldn't let it happen. I couldn't let them do that. So,
but to your point, see, that was why you could do that back then, because you knew the guys had your back. They knew what to do. They knew how to do it. Screw all the babyface heel crap. If you've got a problem, they're coming out of the ring. They may not be working each other. They're coming out together to handle this shit. And you knew that. Now, you couldn't have confidence. I wouldn't have confidence if I was in that position as a manager or something. If a fan swung on me and I swung on them, that anybody's going to have my back. You know, they're going to pull their phone out and start recording it and hope they can get some hits off of it, you know.
I just watched something on X yesterday where a girl was fighting a guy at school, and there was nobody breaking it up. They were all just filming it. I was like, wait, break this up. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Guys, theirs was another crazy, crazy month. WTF, the WTF News Desk. The live feed's going to end here in just a moment. If you're a Patreon member, you will get the Patreon version. There's going to be some silence on the Patreon version. I sometimes forget to clip that, so I'm just going to say, screw it. It's there. There'll be some silence, and then you'll get the Patreon version of it. Well, the extra stuff that we have. Stick around with us. Oh, hell. Was that my new catchphrase?
It may be. I was going to try to get in before we ended that the WTF News Desk is the original and only place for what the fuckery.
There you go. I didn't even do my finish. Same bad time, same bad channel, on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And as everyone knows, and Gene knows this too, I love my mama. All right.